Good morning everyone. We have a lovely story to tell. Actually, we have a lovely new driver, Christiana.
Hello.
She's going to explain to you what she went through because now we are on the plus training, but unfortunately the traffic basically stopped, so we have to spend the time. We thought to record this video when we are stationary, but because we're hardly moving, so we take the chance to explain the driving test itself, the procedures and the process, how you get there. Christiana give some advice, make some points for the new candidates who are preparing for pass the driving test. So what do you think? How did you get there?
It was definitely not a short journey, at least for me. So I had some classes when I was back home in Romania, and then but I never got to actually take the test. And then I started here in October, I think, and I've passed my test 2 days ago. I don't even know how many classes I had, but it definitely helped me. The first time I took the test, I failed because I think it was because of me not being confident enough, basically, and then I passed the second time. So I think what helped me the most was definitely the mock test and trying to see how it feels like to drive independently, because I think this is where you'll notice the difference in how it feels like to drive with the teacher and how it feels like when you need to drive by yourself. And I think, as I said, the first time I took the test, I realized that actually you sort of start to question yourself and your decisions and drive a bit more cautious than you would normally do, or than you'd normally need to, because of lack of confidence. So I think my two advices would be to take your time and to practice as much as you feel like you need to, and do mock tests and try driving independently. I think these are the things that help me the most.
The mock test, yes, it is really useful because you see on the paper black and white, because no matter if I say 10,000 times where we need to improve, it's not that powerful until you get the real assessment. Because I say always the mock test is assessment, is not about passing or failing, it just shows where we need to improve. Because I had to play the role of the examiner completely the same way, conducting the same way, everything, then you get a picture.
Yes, because obviously it's you're under pressure and you sort of realize that what I'd normally do, I would, if I want to make a decision and I'm not 100% sure, I would double check with you, but then you realize that you can't double check, and if you are unsure, two things might happen. You could fail the test or actually be in a really bad situation. So it's sort of a bit scary, and I think doing the mock test you sort of see a lot of the things you never even thought that you need to practice more. Or you, regardless of whether your teacher will tell you need to improve this or that, some things you won't even realize, and probably you won't even know what the teacher is talking about until you actually do the mock test and you see for yourself.
And it's also very important, we did not only one, because very important not to do just before the driving test, because there is no time to rectify if we have anything to work on. So we need to do a couple of weeks before the real test to see, okay, do we still have time to fix those issues. Okay then, and how was the test? Because you fantastically, I just can congratulate you with full respect, you managed to pass your test with 2 minors, so that's really impressive. How was the test actually? Because you can compare, because the first one was a different story, but this one was full confidence and absolutely a spot on drive. So what do you think, how it was?
I can't say, I truly think that the first one, I mean the situations that I encountered on my first test were easier than in my second.
Really?
In my first test, I think the only difficult thing was probably the double mini roundabout that actually failed my test. but it wasn't raining. It wasn't busy. I didn't get like people jumping in front of the car or children on bicycles or stuff like that. Whereas on my second test, I got all of that.
You had many challenges, as you said.
And I was very nervous, and I actually had absolutely no idea if I'm gonna pass the test or not on my second one. On my first one, I knew exactly that I failed the moment I left the roundabout where I messed up. So I was still very nervous, but I think it helped that I focused less on my independence driving bit. I focused less on where I was going and if I was going the right direction, and more on
how to do that.
Yes. And I went the wrong exit, but I did it
safely.
So that's the main thing. That was fine.
Yes, as I said to you, it doesn't matter wherever you're going, as long as you do it safely, basically, because the examiner is just asking you to go there or there, but you need to obey the road signs and highway code. So if you do that, doesn't matter wherever you're ending up, they will have you back. What was the situation, if you could recall?
So
please.
I was going out of a roundabout, and the exit was very close to, like, on the corner of the street. There was a Sainsbury's, so obviously people were going out of the store, and because it was raining, they had the hoods up on their head, so they didn't even look. So they just jumped in front of the car. I stopped, and then the weird situation was that I knew that I couldn't wave at them to just cross the street because I've stopped now, and they didn't want to cross the street because they knew it wasn't the right thing to do, but they were just sitting there, and I was a bit stressed because I didn't want to wait too long and just be there 5 minutes in the middle of the road without making a decision whether to go or not. But I didn't want to just go having pedestrians in the middle of the street, because obviously you need to make sure they're safe. So
really challenging situation.
And I couldn't wave at them to just tell them just go, and
because we shouldn't encourage any pedestrian.
So it was a bit of an awkward one, but then they were fairly close to the curb, because obviously they stepped back a little bit before I stopped the car. I just took the decision, went for it, because they weren't making up their mind, and I was a bit nervous because I wasn't sure if this is the right decision
or not.
But
fantastic.
Apparently it was.
Fantastic. The rain just started for...
The rain itself was fine because the wipers do the job. I think the humidity was more of a challenge, because I had to open and close the window several times, which it's just something that adds to the list of things that you already need to take care of. So.
How was the examiner? It was Emma. She is a lovely lady, so how was she behaving?
She was very nice, much nicer than the first one. I mean, the first one, you can't fault him. He didn't do anything wrong. It's just that she was more friendly and more talkative, so obviously you sort of
created a lovely atmosphere in the car.
More friendly atmosphere.
Anything else what you would say to the candidates?
I chose my instructor based on basically one of my colleagues that I trust, simply because I know him, liked the instructor, so I was like, this is the way to go. Because I knew that if he got along with the instructor, and I know him, I know his personality, then I'd probably get along with the instructor as well. That was it. This is how I...
So you just trusted him, then you checked basically my website, and then...
Exactly.
Then you didn't shop around. So you...
No.
That's
no,
very
because
nice.
this is, I think, what matters the most. A car is a car. I think probably 90% of the instructors will have good cars. so I didn't really care about the car.
Mm-hmm.
I cared more about
the service that you
Exactly.
receive. Thank you very much, Christiana. Congratulations one more time, and I hope the traffic will improve, because we're sitting on M5 basically in the traffic jam. That's why we had a chance to record this video. So we wish you all the best.
Thank you.
And then drive obviously carefully.
Thank you. Good luck to everyone.
Thank you very much. Bye bye.
Bye.